Hello my beautiful friends! Today we're talking about the new Naked Cherry collection from Urban Decay. This collection is currently available. You can find all of these items from Ulta, Sephora, and the Urban Decay website. Some of these pieces are going to be a permanent part of the Urban Decay line as far as I can tell, because only certain things are marked as limited edition. So I believe that the eyeshadow palette and the cheek palette will remain available, while the Naked Cherry setting spray, all three Naked Cherry Vice lipsticks, and two of their 24/7 Glide On liners that are being marketed as a part of this cherry collection are all marked as limited edition items. If I get any new information, I will keep the description box updated, so make sure you check down there for more info. So the two eyeliners that they're marketing as a part of this Naked Cherry collection do not have special packaging. All of the other items in the Naked Cherry collection have this cool like cherry print packaging. This is the standard Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eyeliner packaging. The shades are Black Market and Love Drug. These retail for $21 each. I'm gonna show you a photo right here from the Urban Decay site so you can see what these eyeliners actually look like. I'm not gonna swatch these because I know I'm not gonna use them. I'm gonna leave these untouched so someone else can get some use out of them. Next, let's talk about the Vice lipsticks from this collection. There are 3 shades. One is a cream finish and 2 are metallized finishes. These do have special packaging on the outer carton as well as the lipstick itself. All 3 shades are limited edition and they will retail for $18 US a piece. I'm gonna go ahead and show you some lip swatches now. First we have Juicy. This is one of the metallized finish lipsticks. It's a light peachy pink with copper micro shimmer. Next we have the shade Devilish. This is the color that I'm wearing throughout the talking portions of the video. This is a berry pink with tonal micro shimmer. And lastly we have the shade called Cherry. This one's a cream finish and it is a deep berry wine shade. I love this special packaging on the Vice lipsticks. I think this is so cute. I love the way it matches with the other pieces in this Naked Cherry collection, but I have one major gripe with this packaging. I don't know if it's just me, but all 3 of my lipsticks are super freaking hard to open. After I opened them up a few times, it got a little bit easier, but legitimately the first time that I opened these, I'm not exaggerating. Do you know what these are? These like jar opener thingies? I had to use this to open these lipsticks for the first like 2 or 3 times that I opened them. Given I don't have much arm strength or muscle tone at all, but I can lift a 30-pound toddler, and I'm telling you right now, these were excessively difficult to open the first few times. So if you get these and you're having trouble opening the bullets, you're not alone. Get one of those jar opener things from your kitchen. If I can do it, you can definitely do it. They are starting to loosen up a little bit. Just wanted to mention that as like a sort of packaging pet peeve. I like the colors of these lipsticks. They're okay to me. I'm not a huge fan of metallic lips, but these do fit well with the palette and the other pieces in the Cherry collection. Plus, Urban Decay has made like every single possible finish and color of lipsticks. So I'm pretty sure there's like 100 Vice lipsticks, right? Let's talk about the last limited edition item from this collection. Is this cherry scented all-nighter setting spray. This is a travel size. It's 1 fluid ounce. It's retail priced at $15. The cherry scent is not available in the full-size all-nighter spray. I am a fan of the all-nighter setting spray formula. I've gone through quite a few bottles in my day. The cherry scent is just in the middle for me. It doesn't smell so good that I want to keep spraying it over and over again, but I also don't find the scent off-putting. I've seen a few people on Instagram mention that they think it smells like cough syrup. I can kind of see that. It's a setting spray, so I expect it to have a bit of a chemically tang to it. It has a good sprayer, so it makes a nice fine mist. I didn't have any issues with it leaving little spots on my face or anything like that. So formula wise, I'm happy with it. Scent wise, just sort of middle of the road for me. The packaging is cute. I think this is a cute addition to this collection. So overall, I'm not mad at it. Now let's talk about my favorite part of any collection, the palettes. This is the Naked Cherry Highlight and Blush Palette. It's priced at $34 and it has 3 shades. There are 2 highlighters and 1 blush. The outer packaging is all a lightweight cardboard, and it does have a little magnetic closure as well as a mirror inside. This doesn't come with a brush or any kind of applicator. These cheek colors don't have shade names. The first pan here is a soft champagne gold. This is the highlighter that I prefer from this palette, and it's the one that I used on my face today. The blush is a really pretty matte berry pink. The highlighter on the far end of the palette here is an icy iridescent white to lavender, and this one has a bunch of glitter. I'm just not a big fan of glittery highlighters. I'm not a big fan of iridescent highlighters. I do think that this powder feels very nice to the touch, so if you do like glittery, you do like iridescent, then you're probably gonna love this one. That just doesn't suit my personal taste, but I have really enjoyed wearing both of the other powders in here. The more golden highlighter, which is just a really soft sheen, and then mixed with the matte blush. It's so beautiful. I love the way that this looks on my cheeks. I do want to mention that this palette does have a cherry sort of scent to it. It smells sort of like a cherry lifesaver or a cherry fruit snack to me. I like the smell of this, but if you're not a fan of fragrances and makeup, or if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, be aware that the cheek palette does have a scent to it, as does the setting spray. The lipsticks and the eyeshadow palette are not cherry scented. Overall, I mostly like this palette. The packaging is cute, it's practical. I like that there's a little mirror in here, and I do like 2/3 of the product in here. I would really love this cheek palette if I felt like I was gonna get any use out of that last highlighter. If it was just a plain icy white, I know it would be a lot more boring and basic to most people, but I would prefer that. I 2/3 love it. Let's just leave it at that. Now it's finally time to talk about the Naked Cherry palette. I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw pictures of this palette before it even launched, I was feeling very meh towards it. I didn't think it was anything exciting to me. I just felt a little underwhelmed by the photos that I saw, but seeing it in person, I've completely changed my mind. I don't know if it was just one of those things where I had to play with it, or if the marketing images weren't really doing it justice. Either way, I didn't think that I was gonna like this palette, and I ended up really loving it. Spoiler alert, this palette is priced at $49. The packaging is a heavy-duty plastic with a magnetic closure. This does have some cool raised detailing on it. I like the color. I like how the color scheme matches the actual eyeshadows inside. It feels fun. It feels expensive. Overall, I really like the packaging. This palette does come with a double-ended brush, and as far as brushes go, I think that the Urban Decay ones are probably some of my favorites that are included in palettes. There's a larger fluffy brush for blending, and then a more dense, short bristled, kind of rounded brush on the other end. This brush did get an update for the Naked Cherry palette because it has this cool clear plastic handle. This isn't something that I would rush to use if I'm here in my makeup room and I have access to my vanity, but when traveling, I feel like I would definitely get some use out of this brush. All in all, not a throwaway for me. Of course, there's a mirror inside this palette, and we see 12 eyeshadow shades here, 7 of which are matte and 5 are shimmers. I really like the way that these are arranged. I think, again, this is just a personal preference, but I really like a palette that goes light to dark, so I find this very satisfying to look at. Now I'm gonna do some swatches of this palette. I'll be swatching on the back of my hand with no primer down first. Finger swatches will be on top and brush swatches will be below. For my brush swatches, I'll be using my e.l.f. flat eyeshadow brush, and I'll clean the brush off in between each shade using my Vera Mona color switch. Here's the first round of swatches. These are the first 6 shadows from the palette. These 2 very light mattes are super close to my skin tone, so you'll have an easier time seeing the finger swatches than you will the brush swatches. The off-white matte is called Hotspot. This beige matte is called Caution. Then we have a bright glittery peachy pink called Bang Bang. This mauve matte shade is called Feels. A matte peach called Juicy. And lastly, this pinky champagne called Turn On. Here's the last round of swatches. We have a warm coppery shimmer shade called Ambitious, a pinky berry called Bing. This is a matte. Another matte called Devilish. This is a more red wine meets berry kind of color. A bright pinky purple called Young Love. A deep purpley brown shimmer called Drunk Dial, and lastly a chocolate brown matte called Privacy. Now that you've seen the swatches, I'm going to jump into a quick tutorial so that you can see this palette in action, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts at the end. I'm starting off just like I always do with my favorite eye base. It's the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. Then I'm going to set that eye base using the shade Hotspot from the Naked Cherry palette. For my transition shade, I'm going to be building up the shade called Feels in the crease. I'm using my favorite ColourPop brush for this, just lightly dusting it on first to get the placement and then building it up. Then I'm going to add the shade Bing to the outer corner. Again, this is going to be a really layered and building type of look. So we're starting with Bing, and then I'm going to go back with the same brush in the shade Devilish and pat that along the outer corner as well for a little bit more depth. Then for my lower lash line, I'm going back into the shade Feels with a small flat brush and smoking that out along the lower lashes. Then I use my finger to apply the shade Bang Bang all over the inner 2/3 of my lid. And for a little bit more pop, I took Young Love also on my finger and tapped that right along the space where the pink shimmer meets those matte shades. Lastly, for my inner corner highlight, I added Turn On with a small detail brush. I always like to do my setting spray before mascara so that my lashes don't clump together. I used this Naked Cherry setting spray, then I curled my lashes and added some Physicians Formula Killer Curves mascara, and that finishes off this shimmery, really pinky berry toned look. I've been loving this and wearing this eye look so often. Like I mentioned previously, I did not think I was going to be interested in this palette at all, and it's ended up being one of my favorite palettes to use over the past few weeks. The quality and performance is so consistent across these shades. I've used all these shades on my eyes, and I haven't found one that I felt was performing way ahead of the others or way below the others. It just seems across the board these are really easy to use. They have the perfect amount of pigmentation, so they're not so pigmented that they would be difficult to use for a beginner. Some formulas that get a lot of praise, even from me, like the ABH shadows, the Lorac Pro shadows, those can be difficult to use if you're more of a beginner or you're not really comfortable with a lot of color and a lot of eyeshadow. I like this Urban Decay formula in the same way that I like the ColourPop formula. It shows up, it's there, but it gives you a little bit of leeway as far as buildability. I feel I can really control the amount of color and amount of pigmentation that I get with these shadows. Overall, I like the color scheme. I think there's a good balance of light, medium, and deep shades here, so I get a lot of different looks. I can go for something a little lighter or more neutral. I can also go smokier, deeper, darker, and there's some good pops of color in here. I like a color scheme that gives me some color options but also grounds it in a lot of neutrals, so I find that I can sort of mix things up, but I still stay in that comfort zone, and I feel like it's something I can wear every day. For this Naked Cherry collection, I think the palette is the main hit for me, as usual. The cheek palette is second place. I'm not a huge fan of the lipsticks just because they aren't the sort of shades I like to wear. Formula-wise, they're good, the packaging's cute, they're just not my taste. I also like the all-nighter spray. I think the formula is good, but I just don't think that the travel size is really budget-friendly. It's not really a good deal. So I am a fan of all-nighter. I would recommend all-nighter. I would just go for the full size or the jumbo size because you're getting a better value for your dollar when you invest in the bigger bottles. It's cute though. Now for something really exciting that I've been holding in talking about for this entire video. I'm gonna be doing a 20K subscriber giveaway. The giveaway prize will contain the entire Naked Cherry collection. Of course, the prize items are all brand new. It's not the ones that I've been using, as well as some other goodies. I've done quite a few giveaways and I always do them on Instagram. This one is not gonna be an Instagram giveaway. Go check the description box to see how to enter. All you have to do is fill out a little Google form. Please make sure you read all the details. I'm so thankful for everyone who chooses to watch my videos, who chooses to subscribe to my channel. And this is just my way of saying thank you so much for being here with me every week. I can't believe that I have over 20,000 people who decided to click subscribe to my channel. That's just crazy to me and really exciting. So thank you for your support. Thank you for all your love. I get so many kind, wonderful comments. They really, really outweigh any negativity that I get here on YouTube. So thank you for just being such a great community. Hopefully there will be plenty more giveaways in our future. Again, just check the description box. It will have all the rules, all the details. Of course, I want to hear what you think about this Naked Cherry collection as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Probably looked like a weirdo, but what's new? Update the description. I just got the most random spam comment on my Instagram picture. Very good photo because of the composition. I think just need some lighting in this photo. Then great. Winky face emoji. If only I had a commercial photography studio set up in this room. I'll think of some witty comeback for that later, but right now I have eyeshadow palettes to swatch. That's that. Finished. Huh? I ran out of coffee. That's the problem. I ran out of coffee this morning and just gonna throw me off my game all day. Talking to myself. It's fine. Start with this. Hopefully it speaks for itself because I can't talk. Very lifesaver. Wow, I really need to get more coffee. This is the most rambling opinion ever given. Can you talk? Can you get it together?